All right. All right. What up, guys? It's me, Myleague Mixtapes. I'm here to explain what's going on, how it's going on, why it's going on, and where it's going on in NBA 2K99 Myleague. Now, if you don't know what NBA 2K99 Myleague is, let me explain it to you. It's a Myleague where I've gone from 2020 and 21, and I'm going to 2099 through 100 in NBA 2K20. The reason why I phrase it that way, it's not possible to go to 2099 in 2K20, but we count the bubble year. The game happened during the bubble year, but I started this after it. So 2019-20, Lakers were the champions, so we just count that as a year and move on. But here we are, 2000 and the 2091 through 92 season, January 5th, Memphis Grizzlies and the 76ers just played. Where are we? Who are these people? Why are they playing basketball? Why are they here? Is there anything unique about them? I'm kind of here to guide you through this journey. I'm gonna have multiple videos coming out on all this. I need history. You need to know the greats, the championships, the rivalries, all of it. I know all of it. I didn't sim through this. I won't say I played it all, but I haven't. There wasn't a year where I just simmed straight through. I've at least played or seen 8 games pretty much every time. And this is not a playing thing. This is a CPU versus CPU. I jump in and play sometimes to get highlights or whatever. But now, with that being said, like I said before, year 2091 through 92, the Pistons were our champions last year. They won a championship. They beat the Nuggets to go on to win their first title in 15 years or so. And I mean, that's a great way to begin off. 5-year pro now in his 4th year. Won the championships. Braxton Kazemi out of Pittsburgh won his first title, and probably plenty more to come. Only 25 years old. 6'8", 245 shooting guard. He's amazing. He's the best player on the planet for any of you guys. If you guys want to know who should you be looking for, as Braxton's the best player on the planet. So I mean, that's a great place to start off with. This season he's doing decent. He's I would say, I don't want to say, because then you're gonna have an automatic thought in your head. I don't want to put nothing in your head, but he is a playmaking shot creator. That's the best way I could put it. Someone who's 6'8", 245 pounds that can pass the ball and get himself his own shots. And there should be a player popping into your head right now, but I'll leave that to your imagination. All of this is up for your interpretation. I don't want to push anything onto you. This is what Braxton has done this season. Best performance is probably 48-7 against Chicago on October 30th, one day before Halloween. Really, I mean, he's one of the best. He won MVP in 2090, which was last year when he also was a champion. A 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 2-time All-NBA. Not only that, but also 2-time first-team All-NBA. 4-time first-team All-Defense, and was Rookie of the Year. Braxton Kazemi came in the league averaging 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he's one of the best field goal shooters in the league. He doesn't miss at all. At all. And he's surrounded by Madu Diagne. He was first overall pick in 2083. And he was really solid with the Kings. Just nothing happened. But he's kind of revived his career. Not better numbers, but a better player overall with the Pistons. He helped a lot. He helped Braxton a lot. There's a couple of key rebounds he does, and he's a really good defender, like a really good interior defender. Not only because this says it, I've seen him hit some clutch blocks. Like earlier this year when they played the Cavs, he blocked Corey Gordon, who you will get to know in due time. Frederick Joubert won the championship his rookie year. Second pick last year from France. He's 24, so he was a Euro pick. He came over. So actually he wasn't drafted last year. 2 years ago. Like 4 years ago, something like that. He came over 2 years ago. I think he won Rookie of the Year, 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists in the in the championship season. Now, he didn't win Rookie of the Year, but he was first team all rookie. Really solid piece. He's a really good passer. This team has a lot of good passers. This team is just, it's a good built team. Like, it's built around Braxton and it works. Dion Lucas, another piece, kind of, just good role player. You can get him buckets. He swaps on and off the bench with Mike Cruz. They switch on and off. They sort of do the same thing. Mike Cruz give you more rebounds, and I'm pretty sure Cruz is a better defender. But Dion runs fast break better, especially with Braxton. Nick Lucic, who was out the playoffs when they won the title, but has recently come back the season after a spinal injury. He got drafted to one spot after Braxton. I don't know who they traded for to get him, but they made some type of trade and they got Nick as well. And like I said, key thing with this team is that they pass the ball. His highest assists per game was 7.3 in 2089 through 90. Remember, it's different because we add a year because of the bubble season. So he recently came back. He hasn't been back to his true self yet. I mean, the 91 season was kind of struggling. He's getting less and less minutes. The spinal injury is hard to come back from. It's only been 21 games, but he'll be back. Trust me. He's only scored 30 points. His best game this season is his best game this season. Probably the most recent one against Charlotte when he put up 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists. So, these are your champions. Let's see who they faced last year. The Nuggets. Alright, so the Pistons versus the Nuggets. I know in real life we're pretty far away from that with the Pistons just getting the first round pick and the Nuggets getting swept with the MVP on their team. But hey, it's 2092. What do you want me to say? Jokic is gone. Kate Cunningham is far gone. So, here we are. Javon Cousins, one of the probably the best power forward of the 2080s. That's strange to say, but he was really a part of this solid Clippers team that recently just like completely fell apart. He already has a title with them. But they chemistry issues. He left and went on his own a year ago. Was able to go to the finals with his new team, but I'm pretty sure they lost in 6 to Braxton Kazemi, who we just seen. So, I mean, he's been really solid. Career-wise, 17 points per game, 10 rebounds, 54, 33, 96 flats. Shooting stats. 16,000 points, 9,000 rebounds, blocks. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He's been an NBA champion, 7-time All-Star, multiple time. What is that? 5-time All-NBA, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. Got a most improved players in there as well. Been really solid this season. Just the anchor on the team. This team was solid. They were the 8th seed before he joined, and now since they're there, they've been elevated. But this year, they are struggling a little bit. They're underperforming. They're 18-18 after just going to the finals. But that is because Javon has missed a couple games. I think we have played 38 games so far, 30 games. He's missed a couple, and they started losing afterwards. Talbot, who has been really solid. He's been giving the Nuggets the 8th seeds, the 9th seeds, the 10th seeds, the 7th seeds for the last couple of years before Javon got there on his own. And he's been just a really solid 20-7 guy. Really great passer. It's like he does the job well. He just needed an extra piece, which they got in Javon. That's why they went to the finals. Really solid. Still pretty young, not as young as some other players that are really good, like Braxton. Only 25. But he's one of the better passers in the league. Probably at this point the best passer in the league. Jaden Spencer. Also, do not look at overall. Please do not look at overall. Don't let overall tell you who is good and who is bad. I'm gonna let the game play and let me sort of explain. Not ranking them. If I talk about them, they are talk worthy. Just keep that in mind. Overall does not tell you nothing. Jaden Spencer. All right, this is young buck. He's 24, but just really solid. He's just another good role player. He has gobs of potential. It's just nothing has really captured it yet. But he was a power forward before Javon came over, and it's a good mentor. Javon Cousin, 33 years old, 14-year pro, number 15. He can learn a lot. He's pretty big as well, 260 pounds, and he can run pretty fast. Just super athletic, just raw athleticism and raw potential. Cedric Baines joined the team this year. I don't even know how they had enough cap space for this. I'm not even going to cap. I don't know. I don't even think they lost anyone. But they got Cedric Baines, who's been he's been an amazing scorer from Gonzaga. He came in the league balling out with Minnesota. It was a bad Minnesota team. No one at a lower level. Andrew Wiggins. Players like Andrew Wiggins. Let's look at some of the promising teams this year. The most promising team this year, Cleveland Cavaliers. You've seen them play against the Suns. Mike Garland, 3-time generational talent. His dad played, his uncle played, and his grandfather played. His dad, Malcolm Garland, has 7 championships and 5 MVPs. His uncle has 1 MVP. His granddad has 2 MVPs in the championship. So, a lot of expectations. He's only 22 from IMG Academy, which you're seeing he has shoes from IMG. That's another player has. And he's the pick before Braxton. He had a really solid season last year. He had an MVP caliber season. But he got injured at the end of the season. They were the 1 seed too. They were like, the Cavaliers were just as strong as they were this year. They're like 28-7 right now. They were as strong as they were this year. But he got injured. Which like they finished like the 5th seed. Which gave Braxton pretty much the MVP. And those two are probably going to clash in the Eastern Conference Finals. So those two are tied to each other. First and second pick in the 2086 draft. I mean, you can't write it no better. First of all, he's been balling out this season. Like he's probably MVP. He's on a redemption tour. He's just torching the league. 2-time All-Star, 3-team All-NBA. Yeah. I mean, he's probably not going to be 3rd team this year, I'll tell you that. Never had a season below 25 points per game. Like, can you believe that? Like, that's just crazy. To be, what, it would be 17, 18 coming into the league and not ever having a season below 25. And every year he's gotten more points over, and like, just, he's gotten better every year. Every year. That's just amazing. Co-star, Corey Gordon. I wouldn't even say co-star. He had a season. Okay, this is gonna get crazy. He had a season like Mike. He was favorite to win MVP, and he kind of went out with an injury at the end of the season. 38 points per game, 10 rebounds. He was going crazy. He's a really good rebounder. And a really good perimeter defender. Like, he's kind of there was a shooting guard duo in the Kings that won them a championship. There was a guy named Matthew Bailey and Malik Lanier. Malik Lanier was Kawhi Leonard, but a shooting guard. Like Dwayne Wade and Kawhi Leonard. And that has led a path to rebounding shooting guards. And Okori is one of them. And Okori, I mean, he's really solid. I mean, 24 points per game this season and 8 rebounds. That's on Kobe, bro. That's MVP numbers. He would be in the MVP conversation if Mike wasn't on his team. That's Scotty and Mike, bro. Corey and Mike. Jeb Smart, rebounding big, played for the Wizards. I didn't really care. I didn't watch him on the Wizards. Went to the Knicks. I think I saw him because I think there's a player, Drake Swanier. He had he has the most triple doubles of all time. Just to give you a glimpse of who Drake Swanier was. I think I caught him there, but I really remember him in Portland and LA. Where he was with Perry Jack. And he's always just been a good rebounder. Had some clutch moments, passed out to Perry Jack. Perry Jack hits it. Yeah. No reason to go under them. LaCroix Lee. Just a really good scorer for the Warriors. I don't think he ever got any recognition. Nope. But, I mean, he's always been a really solid player. Yeah, the Warriors were really good for a little bit. They were like the 2nd seed consistently. They had LaCroix, number 10, a shooting guard, Sean Alexander, small forward, who would average you like 18 points per game, and Oliver Seymour, a big that would average you like 24 and 11. So they had a really solid team. Just could never get the job done. The West was really tough for a while. So these are the Cavs. These are your strongest team this year. Behind them. Behind them is the Thunder in the West. They are pretty much the second strongest team behind some veterans and some great defensive players. Armani Bridges, one of the best scorers the league has ever seen, to average 28 points per game over a career. To keep that in mind, Kevin Durant currently is at 27 points per game for his whole career. So that's how crazy this man is at scoring. Never won an MVP, but finally, after years of these two just sitting around, you could look at their age, you could look at it. They've been just here searching for a title. Trevor started in Cleveland, but this is before Mike and Okori. They were just a really bad. I think Okori caught him for 1 year. 81. Sorry. He might have not caught him. But Okori was in that high school. Yeah, he caught him for 1 year. They played with each other. I remember that. They got like eliminated off of game 7. And he just dipped. And joined Armani. They had another player, Antonio Moore, on their team. But he left. So they've been stuck in mediocrity. Like a really good 3rd seed in the West behind the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Or when the Warriors were good, like behind them. But 1 year they broke out. I'm pretty sure 2089, 88. They broke out and caught them a ring. I mean, these guys are legends. They're older now. I mean, Trevor Ewing is still somewhat in here. 11-time All-Star. What is that? 10 All-NBA appearances. I mean, the man's goated. Think about this. He was second all-rookie team, 20 points per game. It's kind of just tragic. Armani Bridges, he's still balling out though. 28 points per game. The best. Because Braxton. Probably the second best shooting guard in the league. 1-time champion, 9-time All-Star. 8-time All-NBA, most improved player. I mean, look at this. Look at the game. Look at the box scores, man. 38, 35, 37, 33, 34, 39, 40, 38, 32, 32, 32, 35, 34, 44, 25, 39. I mean, he's just an ISO scorer. We have a lot of them, but he's just one. Johnny Nolan, young boy from Sudan. Excellent defender. I think he was like first team all defense last year. Yeah, and actually was second team all defense last year, but does have a first team all defense. Only 3 years and 4 years in the league and 3 all defenses. Keep in mind we haven't even done awards this year. And a champion already. So resume is starting to look very swell. Ray Ingram, another good defender on the team. Not as young, but he's got a most improved player award in there. They also have a pretty good big that's injured with a spinal injury, and Brian Ewing, who also has a most improved player a year before Ray. So this team has built up slowly over time to get that 1 ring, and now they're on quest for another one. But job could be. Anything can happen. Another strong team. The Raptors, 26-6. They might be better than the Thunder. Might even be better than the Cavs. Record-wise, they are. That's Carter, power forward. He's the best power forward in the league now. 22-15. I mean, there's nothing else. He's leading the league in rebounds. He doesn't play. What is this? 38-18, 21-15, 19-21, 24-16, 29-29. Backstory: on Dash. Out of high school, there was a duo for the Raptors. There was a guy named Ryan Thompson and a guy named Terrence Anthony. And they were struggling for multiple years to get a ring. Like Terrence Anthony, he's basically Tracy McGrady, and Ryan Thompson is basically like Wilt Chamberlain. And Ryan's the youngest person to ever win MVP. He won MVP out of high school, and they just never could get it done. They tried to groom is a weird word, but they tried to groom a guy named Joseph Garnett, which that didn't work. And then they finally got Dash Carter, who's out of high school, which is interesting because Terrence Anthony and Ryan Thompson were out of high school. So over time, they made this Dash into a excellent player, and now here he is with this type of resume. They finally won 4 rings in a row as a team. Ryan is still here, but Ryan is older, which Ryan is arguably the second best player of all time, at least in my league, behind Larry Nas Abrosimova, which you don't know, but you're going to know. He's the undefiable GOAT. Added this guy Saint Kamara from Utah, right? He was with Utah, yeah, when he joined them. Saint Kamara, who at this point he's just old, but he was a 30-point scorer once, man. 18 points per game now, and I mean he's just a really solid third piece because he tore his tendon playing in a game against some guy named Vatan McKinney, which you will also get to know. Probably not. And who is leading us in this year, 2091 through 92? Well, Mike Garland is leading us in points per game with, just a really good scorer. If I could explain his game, he's probably the second best finisher in the game right now. Probably the best mid-range scorer in the game. He's probably the best perimeter guard. 2 steals per game. Really good at guarding. He also takes the most shots. So, Micah Ramsey from Nevada, 28, 10-year pro. He's averaging 27 points per game, 11 over his career. But this year, 52, 39, 86. We just saw these two play. Number 88 for the Suns. He has a big Twin Towers over there with Nye Jones. He was with the Jazz. He left. He was extremely young with the Jazz. Like, bro was averaging 31 and 14. I don't know why he didn't win MVP, but he didn't. A lot of people had insane years during those years, like just crazy numbers. But like he led them trash Jazz teams to like the 5th and 4th seed in the West. Like that was just, they had like 50 wins sometimes just because of him. So he's one of the best players in the league. He has his right to put his name in that conversation. But I mean, he's a really good perimeter scorer. He's a shooting big three. He can do post work. Not really his sweet. He's only 215 pounds, but he can post up. He can fade. He can drive in and get fouls. That's quite important to his game. But yeah, that's Micah. Armani, shooting guard. You know by now, ISO scorer. Royce Rose from the Jazz Mavs game. He's breaking out this season. Not broke out. Season's not done, but so far, man, I mean, I have notes. I have to find a way to show you guys that. I have notes that I keep of performances and stuff. Wow, this guy's really breaking out. And I don't like, he's not even up for most improved player this season. He's not up here. Like, he's not up. I'm going to have to manually do it if he keeps up, because everyone else is up by like 3 points. This guy should be most improved player. He's point 3 more minutes, 30 more seconds. What is that? Yeah, 30 more seconds. He's playing 30 more seconds, shooting, averaging 27 points more than he did last year. That's the most improved player, man. He's a really good small forward. 3-level scorer. I mean, Manka, he's a really good inside finisher and a mid-range scorer. I mean, to be honest, I'm not that high on his 3-point game. Man's a scorer, man. Comparison. I don't like doing comparisons, but to get the image in your head, that's Paul George. That's most definitely Paul George. Another reason why he's playing, he's getting all these shots up. He's getting more touches. The Mavs were like the 7th seed with like their little big three. They had Brian Red, who was a shooting guard that passes. He's a really he's still there. Excellent passer. And Craig Ryan, a power forward, who was really solid. But now Craig Ryan left to go to the Kings, which they needed a new primary scorer, and Royce most definitely stepped up. Basin Jennings, Mr. Petty, Mr. Attitude, Basin Jennings, an MVP of our league, man. Let's check out his stats. I mean, nothing else to say. Came in the league booming. It's surprising. You might think I said MVP. This is not the year he won MVP. Nor is this year. He won MVP in 2088, man. Right? 2088. That's the year he won MVP. Like I said, a lot of people have some crazy years, bro. 36 and 11 is some James Harden type beat, some Kobe type beat. But other people were on that type beat as well. He's only 26, but a 9-year pro. How are you a veteran and you still young? You come from IMG Academy. Interesting fact: Basin and Mike wear the same shoes. It's IMG inspired Jordan 4s. They're white with some blue insoles. And he's the best center in the league, and probably until Ryan comes back. He's been really solid. Six has been really solid. They had Antonio Moore, who I've mentioned from the Thunder, who's now on the Grizzlies, on their team. They just recently got George Powell, and they got Kevin Perry last year. That's two veteran players who were one of the best players at some point in time. And I mean, he's went to the Western Conference Finals, semifinals, but he runs into either he runs to the Raptors, who won 4 in a row, or he runs into the Heat with Vatan McKinney, which is probably top 5 shooting guards of all time. So he just runs to the wrong people. The East has been tougher than the West for like the last 7-8 years. It's kind of hard. Philly's just in an awful situation. They're usually the 2nd seed, so they always run into the 3rd seed, or the 3rd seed, and they always run into the 2nd seed. This year, they're the 5th seed, underperforming. Hopefully, they get out the mud. Braxton, we already went over him. That's our last year's MVP, Finals MVP, and champion. Vince Ballard, we saw him play against the Sixers. 28. Point guard. He's 25 years old. 6-year pro from Mizzou. 6'5", 179. He's extremely underweight. Clumsy little fellow. Man, he came in the league balling. He's really good, man. Like, he's shooting 51%. Almost 50. I'm going to say 52%. He's almost 52, 40, and 94. And 27 points per game. Leading the Grizzlies, who's been really solid for about the whole decade. For the whole 2080s, they've been really solid. They just can never get the job done. They just can't win. They can't win in the playoffs. They went to 2 finals in the last 15 years, and they've been like the 1 seed the whole time, except for I think last year they were the 5th seed. So, they got themselves in a nice predicament, but he's just really clumsy. I've watched multiple games of this cat. You saw him. He 41-12. That's not a good case of clumsiness, but this guy does mess up a lot in the 4th quarter, which is really important, and the playoffs. So, I mean, Mr. No Show, Mr. Show Up, 1, 2, 3, no 4. Amari Love. Oh, shoot. Yeah, okay, Amari balling out. This is he was 19 last year, 20 this year. Wow, yeah, so hot prospect out of Houston, man. Houston, shout out to Hakeem. Balling out. Cedric Baines left this team. Someone had to shoot the ball more for the Knicks, and he took it up as a rookie. He's playing 39 points per game. That's on Ja Morant. That's on Ja. This year, bro, he was an all-star. Last year, 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Had to get voted in. Had to. 51 points, man. Against Denver in slammed them on the floor. On a pretty decent Knicks team that didn't make the playoffs with Cedric Baines. But this year he's leading them with his tremendous sophomore season. No sophomore slumps, man. None. Great season, bro. Nye Jones, this is Micah's twin. This is the second tower. 25 points per game, 10 rebounds, 62%. I think he has the best field goal percentage in the league. Doesn't miss no shots. Best paint scorer. Big man post work, best. Von Warwick, he was going off this season before he got traded to LAC for Dwayne Dean and Marshawn Pollinara. The Heat went in a different direction. Got 2 GOATs on the same team. Dwayne Dean and Vuitton, you'll get to know them. He's had a really good season. He cooked up Braxton one game. He was cooking him up. I'm pretty sure he had like 28 points. But I was watching the game. Oh my goodness, how did it describe his game? You know what? De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox. Type beat. With a little bit of Donovan. Rip Hamilton. That's good. I like that. Okay. Jordy Shaman. 24-8-5. Really good season. Bro came in the league at 16 years old. He's 24 right now. And an 8-year pro. People come in my league extremely young. You could come in the league at 18 years of age and somehow, I don't know if I did something, but somehow these cats be coming in at 16. He's probably the youngest player to come in. Drake Saunier came in I think Drake came in at 16, but immediately turned 17. He came in at 16 and pretty much played his rookie year. 16 years old. Extremely good passer. He's led the Timberwolves to some great seasons in the West, like the 6th and 7th seed, places where they shouldn't even be. But now they have a really solid squad. They should be this is our Joe Johnson, but a shooting guard. Our Joe Johnson. Just so, I mean, he'd give you some good Eastern semifinals matchups. What is that? 8-time All-Star. Got some All-NBAs in there. Was part of a pretty solid team with a guy named Noah Vonleh. The 4th, 3rd seed. Especially with him balling out this season. 24-8-6. Skinny Jokic, man. Describe his game. Skinny Jokic. Okori. We know who Okori is now. Ryan Staley, he's just a veteran. He used to be a dog back in the day. Had some duels. They were just solid. And apparently he's about to be shipped out after returning back home which I thought he was going to retire here. Excuse me. But I guess he wasn't. He got traded for Aaron Sears, who's also pretty much an OG for the Lakers. Then he went to Portland, revived himself, went back home. He had a really good year in Portland. They didn't even go to the playoffs. They had Perry Jack, Andrew Taylor, and Ryan Stelly on the same team, and it ended up nowhere, which you'll see how crazy that is in a minute. Justice Jones. Describe his game. Kevin Durant. 6'7". 6'7", 202, Kevin Durant, bro. Dwayne Dean. This is one of the people I was talking about. One of the GOATs. 15-year pro, man, from Florida. Drafted 12th behind Vuitton, who now technically are on the same team. But Vuitton is out for a year. You're not going to see him until a year and a half. So you won't even understand how special this is, bro. They used to battle in the finals. This man, bro, look at one of his best seasons. 34, 10, and 11. That's on Oscar Robertson. 35, 9, and 12. 34, 9, and 13. That was going crazy for a little bit. A total of 29,000 points, 10,000 assists, and 8,000 rebounds, man. 3 MVPs, an NBA champion, 10 All-Stars, 7 first-team All-NBA, 3-time second team, and unfortunate third team, which is not even unfortunate. A great defender. I mean, this season started off with a banger, right? Came out 32, 42. Just was with the Clippers, with Javon Cousins. And they finally fell apart. I mean, they had no direction. It was over. I mean, and now he's on his rival's team. They used to face in the finals. Heat versus Clippers was one of probably the biggest matchup of the 80s. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. Charles Hummel, who they have as the most improved player. 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He is really solid this season. I'm not even cap. I would have him second behind Royce Rose. I haven't actually even seen him play. Surprisingly, I've seen Royce Rose play a lot this season. So maybe I'm a little biased, but he seems pretty promising. It's only his 3rd year. I do remember him being drafted out of Temple, though. And I just remember him being seen as a shooter in the draft. So this is sort of surprising. I was even surprised to see him get drafted that high. But he's shooting exactly what I thought he would be shooting, though. We already know the Boo is. We already know Trevor is. Perry Jack. 20 points per game, 6 assists. This was the guy that was on the team with Ryan Staley, who's now, Perry's turned a little old, but Perry's also been solid for a while. 21,000 career points, 6,000 assists. Bro, this is Kyrie Irving. Just letting you guys know that this is the best ball handler in the league. If I could do anything to describe his game, best ball handler in the league. A really exceptional. He passes like Curry. Yeah. That's a really great way to explain his game. 6-time All-Star. Perry Jack. Really good. He's really fun to watch. We had a bunch of Warriors Blazers games during that time when LaCroix Lee and Oliver Seymour were on the Warriors. That was just fun to watch. Some West Coast battles. It was just fun. Both teams wasn't even like the Blazers ain't never made the playoffs, bro. They just fun to watch. It was just fun to see. Hayden Strong. If Boo is not the best passer in the league, it's Hayden. He was on a team with George Powell before George left. They went to the finals once and then fell apart. They're really solid. They had the same haircut too, so I mean, it was just like chemistry. They were part of a team with some guy named Trey Maxwell who was there before both of them, who has retired. They're called Bucket Team USA, and they were just a group of isolation scorers, bro. And they were so fun to watch, to see these guys just isolate and just get a bucket. And Hayden was throwing lobs. George caught a lob, windmilled it against the Blazers in overtime to end the game. Bro, it was crazy. They were tough. It was a tough team. Plays like Chris Paul and Curry combined. We know Frederick is Kamari. I don't think I need to explain who Kamari Lacey is. Just a really solid scorer. Really good. He was really selfish when he was younger on the Wizards. Well, that was because no one was on the Wizards. The Wizards have been bad for a while. But now he's found his place with the Suns. Found his place with the Spurs. Led them to like the first seed, I think, in the West, bro. Like they had a good team. They're pretty doo this year, but like he led them. Like Kamari's good. He's a good leader. I'll give him that. Kamari Lacey is a great leader. In the beginning of his career, he wasn't, and now he's grown and became a great leader. That's called growth and development. Rookie Mikael Eklund from Sweden. Yeah, 19 points per game, man. 5 rebounds. Rookie shooting flats. I mean, what you expect? We saw him in the Mavs game where he missed all them shots. Here it is. At the end, he had a really good game in general. I watched the whole game. Also, I'm so sorry. Like I thought I was recording the audio the whole time. I mean, pretty solid rookie season. I've seen crazier rookie seasons like Ryan's. We all seen that. Jump was 34, 12. Behind him, his sophomore companion, Ramari Love, which is Amari's brother, and he stayed in Houston for what, 3 years to go play with his brother, man. And I mean, he's done pretty well. He's not doing as well as his brother. He's sort of having a sophomore slump. He's shooting better. Maybe he's just not getting as much touches because of Mikael. But they're working, man. The Jazz are finally in the playoff picture. Think about this. They had the 4th overall and the 1st overall. So they had to be pretty trash. Just letting you know. They've been trash since, what, 2040. Or actually, no, because Henry and Yama. Which you don't even know. But Henry and Yama, so they've been trash since 2074, probably. Yeah. But now here they are. They're probably going to make the playoffs. And, I mean, if I'm a Jazz fan, I'm pretty excited. Gotta love Ramari. Gotta love Mikael right now. Saying Kamari, we know who that is. Aaron Sears, OG, just like Ryan Staley, which they both got traded for each other. He was on this Lakers team that made it to one finals. Kept running to the Clippers. It was Antonio Mann, Kevin Perry for the 76ers. And they were really solid, as you can tell. Really, really, really solid. And they could never just get the job done. Never. Not a good playoff team, man. Not a good playoff team. But he's living his best life in Boston now, bro. He's living his best life in Boston. Chilling. Nothing else really to do, man. London Levert, he's very similar to Justice Jones at a lower level. He likes to cut more. But the Pelicans are pretty trash. So there's no reason he's been on trash teams his whole career. Just really fun to watch though. If we can never tune into a Pelicans game. Just really, really cool. Really cool to watch. Norm Gordon. Oh my goodness. He's one of the closest players. Fun fact about Norm. His debut, Larry Nasser broke him over. The greatest player of all time was coaching the Nets at the time. And he got drafted 8 overall, but for like the first 11 games, which I didn't watch, the first 11 games for the Berkeley, he wasn't starting. And then I simcast into a game. I don't even remember who they were playing, but they like came back and started to win, but they were down by like I don't know, they were down by like 1 point I remember that, but I don't know what remember the score was. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna just make a little guess. 81-82, and the ball. They had the other team had the ball back, and they had to inbound the ball. And Norm Gordon gets in for the first time in his whole career, and he steals the ball and pretty much wins the game for the Nets. That's his first play of his career, and boy's been a legend since. Just really solid player. Baron Davis on the beat, if you will. Baron Davis on the beat, if you will. 9-time All-Star, man. Solid player. Solid. Fun to watch. OG at this point. Yeah, hashtag great teammate. Carson Mabry played for the Rocket Scenes with Powell and Strong. Was solid. He came out strong too. And then he left because he wanted some money. And now he's on the Warriors. Which the Warriors are good now. Sophomore Calvin Bako is helping that the load with him. But he's leading the charge. I mean, he was really about to leave them too. Like last year. He was sad and like, why are we not winning? But, I mean, now look at him. I consider myself to be a loyal guy. I think I like to stick around Golden State. Which is interesting. He's at Golden State. Despite 3-point shooting, I would like to call him Peja Stojakovic. Little like a first scorer Peja Stojakovic. Yeah. I like that one. Really, I mean, he's just a really good scorer. He gets defend, I guess. Kyle Lee was on that Spurs team with Kamari Lacey. Was on the Blazers. His dad, bro. I didn't even notice. I tried to make sure I didn't try to make no real like people. Like real people had children. This guy, so there was this guy in my league, bro. His name is Saban Lee, bro. After LeBron retired, him and AD won a ring together. And I thought he looked like a generic player before I gave him a face scan. I thought he wasn't a real human. Andrew Taylor on the team with Perry Jack, solid. I think it's Think of a strong big. D Wade. Being, bro, this man was a real person. And this is that guy's granddad. I mean, yeah, that's his. Saban Lee is his granddad. He's one like Saban Lee was undrafted, and he was a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer in my league, and he's really solid. Kylie's really solid. 17 and 10. Doesn't really shoot threes. There's a casual big, rebounds, gives you what you need. It's good. Not a strong big, strong guard. D Wade, man. Slower than D Wade though. D Wade, I mean, just to help you out, D Wade at a lower level. My Brandon Jennings and D Wade, really good. Left the Kings, they were doo-doo. He was putting up just that were inflated numbers because I mean you could shoot as much as you want on the Kings. Marshawn Planer on that, he was on the Clippers team, the third option with Javon Cousins and Dwayne Dean. Was really solid on those teams, like 32 points per game and 7 rebounds. 10-time All-Star, 1-time NBA champion. Yeah, legend. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a combination of Wilt Chamberlain and Giannis. But yeah, this is Giannis. Cool. Chilling. Cam Morgan got traded. I don't need to do Cam Morgan. Peter Petrovich. He's a rookie. He actually got drafted, bro. He actually got drafted 2 years ago. He could have came in the league at 17, but he stayed to play in Croatia, bro. And this guy's first game in the league, he dropped or his second game, excuse me, dropped 40, 11, and 9. So he has gobs of potential. But at this state in time, he's kind of losing. Rookie race to Myleague, but we'll see how that ends. Sean Washington, he's just been a really solid scorer for the Bulls, man. Just when I tune in, he kind of chokes, but I mean, he's really cool. I mean, I don't have a lot of complaints. It's a cool scorer, man. Cool, smooth game. This is our defensive player of the year, bro. This guy is crazy. What's that? I said 2-time defensive player of the year. He was a part of the OKC teams with Trevor Ewing and Armani. Then he went to Philly with Bear in only 6 years. Great blocker. This is our Rudy Gobert, man. From Xavier, bro. He don't play and rebounding. King. This is CJ Redick. He's a part of the Kings team. He's kind of having a sophomore slump, but he's in there, man. He's really good. Little Kawhi, Calvin Bako, little James Harden, chilling with Carson. Here's Antonio Moore, who I've stationed. Then he went to Memphis, where he is now. Boom, Sakalaka. Yeah. A good rebounder, good defender, and a good second and third option. But he's not loyal at all. Anyway, Zach Randolph. This is Cardi Bellamy. He's a legend. He's older though, but at some type, bro, he was putting up these numbers. Yeah, it's hard to compete against some certain people. Never won MVP. Like, some people were just going insane for a while. 6-time All-Star. He's a legend though. He's really a legend. Older though. He played with, I forgot that guy's name, but he played with someone. They were like the 1 seed Grizzlies for a while, and then yeah, now he is again pretty much being the 1 seed Grizzlies again, but no championships after all those years. Blake Crisdale, second piece to the Knicks with Amari, solid, young. He haven't even done nothing. I can't even give you his game. He hasn't really done anything, to be honest. This is Brian Red, who I was talking about, shooting guard. He passes the ball. Yeah, little J Kidd on the beat. Yeah, but the shooting guard. That passes. Kind of weird. Can't shoot at all, though. You doing that, and they lost anyway. Well, they won the game, but they lost the series in Game 7. So, yeah, kind of was it worth it? But I mean, just to give you a relapse of who this guy is, like doom, 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 like 30 points per game, his whole career, 30,000 points for his whole career, 2-time MVP, 4-time champion. This is your award races. Peter has the lead. Like I said, they don't even have him up here. They have RJ Craig. It's crazy. And now I'm gonna go silent for a bit. Our most valuable players, just to give you a prelapse of what you're gonna see in our champions. All right, peace.